Are you struggling to set boundaries with really important people in your life? When it comes to setting boundaries, intuition is your greatest gift and your greatest ally. And here's why. Boundaries and intuition go hand in hand. If you're struggling to create boundaries, especially if they're between you and someone you're very close to, which can always be challenging, leaning into your intuition can really help you here. My name is Jessica Kinney. I'm an evidential medium and psychic, and I work with intuition every single day. What you're doing a lot of times when you're creating boundaries is you're feeling into yourself and what resonates with you and what feels good for you and your path forward and your soul's purpose. And the best way to know what feels right for you is to lean into your intuition, that sometimes quiet but very strong voice that's inside of you. Now, when you are struggling to set boundaries, especially because maybe these boundaries are between you and somebody that you care deeply for, that is because you are pushing your needs and your intuitive sense aside and prioritizing them. But when you prioritize them, you aren't really able to balance your boundaries and actually help them in a way that serves both of you. When we're setting boundaries between friends and loved ones, the thing that makes it a little bit difficult is that we generally want to serve them more than we might initially want to serve somebody that we don't know very well or that's on our periphery. But that doesn't mean that we necessarily should, or maybe we don't necessarily need to serve them in the way they think they need to be served. And that's where the boundaries come into play. And when you are feeling into your intuition, that voice is what's guiding you forward, or sometimes telling you to hold up and step back. Whenever you do something and it feels kind of icky, like maybe you overpromise or overcommit to a situation that you didn't really want to commit to in the first place, you tend to have a feeling afterward that's like, oh, this is not really what I want to be doing. That is your intuition reminding you that a boundary has been crossed. And it's never too late to create that boundary in the moment. That does take a little bit more work, though, than just saying no in the first place. But when your intuition is leading you in creating boundaries, your intuition is helping you to make choices that are a little bit more even ground, that keeps you from being stuck in trying to people please or do things that you don't feel good about. And it tries to help guide you in a direction where you can make decisions and help people in a way that at the end of the day, you don't have to feel like you had any regrets or that you did not serve yourself as well. So here's what you do with intuition. If you are new to intuition, I talk about this a lot on the channel. You just have to start paying attention to that feeling inside of you that is trying to guide you forward. And sometimes it'll guide you forward by giving you like a little nudge that says, yes, this feels good. You want to do this. This brings your heart joy. This lightens your shoulders. This serves your path forward in a way that is fulfilling. And sometimes intuition will speak to you in the opposite way. It'll give you a red flag. It'll give you like a warning, like something might feel weird or off. It might also make you feel heavy, like you don't want to move forward. If you're feeling that resentment about a situation, or you're just feeling pushed away from a situation, these are all cues that your intuition is trying to give you about the decision you're making. So the more time you can spend sitting quietly, maybe eyes closed, just feeling into your intuition, hearing that quiet but strong voice inside of you, just getting in touch with it, almost like having a relationship with yourself. The more you can start to hear that intuition, the louder it will get, and you'll be able to more easily rely on it. Now, intuition is just one piece of the boundary making puzzle. You do have to pay attention to all of the logical elements at play, right? Like, is this decision dangerous? You wouldn't want to make a decision that would cause harm or would be a bad judgment call. That's why you have to also utilize the logic and maybe do a yes and no. I'm really big on the pros and cons. Make a list of pros and cons. But after you've done all of that, that is when you feel into your intuition, because sometimes we feel like we should want to do something, but we don't. And that's where intuition can really help you with your boundaries. There's a reason why you don't want to do it. And it's probably not because you're lazy. So taking that time, feeling into your intuition, and then making a decision about your boundaries, about what you will or won't do for someone, that will help you move forward in a way where when you do commit to doing something for that person, you won't be resentful at the end. You will have committed to something that you can provide. And after you have provided this service, this thing, this insight, you will walk away from that conversation knowing that both of you can feel good about the result. Now, the caveat to that is sometimes others will push against our boundaries and they will not care that we have a boundary set. That means they might be disappointed by your decision. They might even get upset by your decision. That doesn't mean it was the wrong decision for you. It just means that they had an expectation attached to that outcome and their expectation was not filled. And there's nothing you can really do about that. That's something that they will have to deal with on their end. As long as you're operating from a place of being transparent and of being kind and thoughtful and just making sure that you're not doing things that don't feel good internally for you. Because the more we ignore our intuition and the more our boundaries are crossed, especially if it's the same person that is always crossing your boundaries, it becomes easier and easier for you to just let them walk over your boundaries. And you don't want to do that. It does not serve you on your life path of moving forward and feeling fulfilled. If you find that you're somebody that struggles with boundaries, especially with your loved ones, this is a really great technique. Basically, you need to not only be thinking about your boundaries from a logical standpoint, but you also have to infuse this boundary setting with your intuition. Your intuition is that voice that leads you into what is your greater good. So be sure to pay attention to the intuition and just remember that the decisions you make might not always be what the other person wanted. They may have disappointment because they've set expectations that you're not filling. But at the end of the day, you'll sleep better knowing that what you decided is aligned with your inner purpose and what feels good for you on a soul level, and just day-to-day making decisions that propel you forward rather than you having to feel any kind of resentment towards the situation. If you'd like to learn more about intuitive studies, including boundary setting, consider subscribing to my channel here, and I will see you on the next video. Have a great day.